Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on a Dragon Warlock deck by a player named Xzirez. And I'm not familiar with Xzirez, but he calls himself a semi-pro Hearthstone player, so probably a little bit like me. But I've sent this deck anyway because it's pretty interesting and really cool take on Warlock. This, of course, as the name would suggest, builds all around dragon synergies with, all these different dragons in the mid game, from Twilight Drake to Azure Drake, even an Xzirez down here at the end. But it's not really a dragon deck. Like there are Blackwing Corruptors, but there's not even the Blackwing Technician. None of the Warlock cards themselves really benefit from dragons, so there's just kind of some dragon pieces in here. But it's simply really more of a mid-range deck in many ways. So it just gets really powerful in the middle of its curve. It has a couple late-game answers, and it has a surprising amount of burst damage capability thanks to cards like Soulfire, Ragnaros, and Xzirez. So you can keep yourself alive. You can also get aggressive from time to time. But you really just want to play your minions on curve, develop a board presence. There's answers for single target removal thanks to like Siphon Soul. There's board clears with Hellfire and Doomsayer. There's just a few different ways to play this. It's kind of just got answers for any given point in a game. It doesn't necessarily have a big win condition or some gimmick or trick. It's just a solid, fundamentally sound, on-curve, mid-range deck with a few cool things to do. I like it because it includes cards you don't usually see. Sunwalkers, where did those come from? For instance, there's just a Crazed Alchemist thrown in here. It's got some handlock type mentalities. You'll see Earthen Ring Farseers, Twilight Drakes, those kinds of things. But no taunt minions. It's not handlock. It's not Reno lock. It's just its own thing, and there's nothing wrong with the deck that doesn't necessarily subscribe to the popular ideas of what a deck should look like. And this one just does its own thing, and that's really cool, and it's a Legend level deck. This was played successfully on the ranked ladder all the way up to Legend. So if you're looking for a different spin on Warlock and you have a lot of these cards and this looks like a fun deck to you, that might be one to try out on the ranked ladder. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually just play this deck on the ladder and see how it does. I don't want to spend too much time discussing it right there in the collection manager. I think we'll benefit more just from seeing it in action. There's not like a big thing to explain or strategy to describe or tricks you need to learn necessarily. It's more about just fundamentally understanding mulligans and playing it on curve and making smart decisions based on meta reads. So one advantage of this deck I will say is that it does have a tendency to surprise opponents because it's not normal looking, right? It's very unusual. So we're going to send back all these things and essentially look for Twilight Drakes most predominantly, but also some Twilight Guardians. This could be a Pirate Warrior, could be mid-range tempo type warrior, it could be Control Warrior. We don't know, but we can kind of play against anything, and this is not a bad hand to do that. We'll probably life tap on 2, and typically, unless we have the Dark Peddler, we will life tap on 2. So this probably looks like an aggressive warrior. We'll still tap here even though we don't really love taking damage. We already have 6 points of heal and some clear. We'll probably have to play the Farseer. No, we'll actually just play the Imp King boss here. It trades pretty well into the Fairy Dragon. We don't have to start healing yet necessarily. We could make a big Hellfire turn depending on how he navigates this. So he's going to trade, it looks like. Hellfire might be good. Unfortunately, we do kind of hurt ourselves with Hellfire, but we could also taunt, but he's got 7-10 damage, so I think we'll go ahead and Hellfire this. It's kind of rough, right? But we don't love hurting ourselves. But between the Hellfires and the Soulfires and stuff like Ragnaros, you can see how this deck puts together quite a bit of damage. This is going to hurt really hard. I love Pirate Warrior, by the way. It's one of my favorite. That is a very fortunate draw. Incredibly important. We'll go ahead and taunt here. This shuts down his weapon. It's on curve, unlike the Earthen Ring. We can double Earthen Ring next turn. This is bad to something like Mortal Strike, but he hasn't gone below 12 yet. So Mortal Strike does not kill us at this point. Okay. Soul Firing that has a lot of value, actually, because trading here is bad, because that means he can hit our face for 5 instead of 3. Remember, we are trying to stay alive here, essentially. That's 4 mana. Unfortunately, I can't life tap for another mana. I could just Azure Drake and Soulfire. And that's probably okay. We don't have to heal this turn again. This should keep us... Oh, that's really rough. Shoot. Anything but the heal, right? Like, anything but the heal. We don't have any taunts, so those heals were our lifeblood here against Pirate Warrior. So there's a very good chance we're dead to Leroy, we're dead to a couple different things. But we had to use the Soulfire that turn, which meant we really had to... we didn't have to play an Azure Drake, but we had to risk losing one of these heals. Actually, we're going to go ahead and Twilight Drake first, and then heal. We're probably dead again still. We can't really Siphon Soul, but this is a nice additional heal if he plays a minion. But, you know, Leroy kills us, Heroic Strike kills us, Corcoran Elite kills us. A lot of stuff kills us here. Mortal Strike kills us. Yeah, there's the Mortal Strike. So that was tough. Probably not the best matchup for this deck. We only ran into one of our taunts. We didn't get the Sunwalker. We didn't get the second Twilight Guardian. Those would have definitely kept us in the game. This deck doesn't have the taunts on the Twilight Guardians from Sunfury Protector or Defender of Argus. So unlike a Handlock, for instance, so you kind of have to draw into your playable taunts. I think we actually played that pretty well. Maybe we could have healed. But getting minions out, preserving the taunt, drawing cards, those were all very valuable activities that I think kept us in the game. This is against a Warlock, so there's a chance Hellfire is very good. We'll keep these other sort of early game cards. Mortal Coil is a good draw. Coin life tap here actually might be a decent play. But probably not. We'll just wait. The coin is good for Twilight Drake, right? So there's some value to holding the coin. So this definitely looks like Zoo. We'll go ahead and life tap. We don't have to Mortal Coil that just yet. Double Mortal Coil is cool against that. I don't know if we'll do it, but it's pretty fun. We could coin Twilight Drake. Life tap. This looks like Zoo and he's life tapping. That's a pretty good sign. Yeah, I think coin Twilight Drake's going to be fine. It starts trading into this stuff already. Getting it out of turn early obviously costs a health, but it's at 8 health. That's so good. Like, even Power Overwhelming is just an even trade here. We've got taunts to follow it up. So if he's using all of his resources to burn through this, it means he's not burning through our taunts. So that's pretty valuable. Alright, so we can go... we can trade here and just play a taunt. We could actually Hellfire trade. That's pretty good. That clears his board. And we don't take... Our Drake's at the same health it would be if we just traded. So we'll go ahead and clear the board against Zoo. Could be interpreted as a little early, but we have such a board advantage right now, and he doesn't have a board to leverage, so it's pretty high value for us to do that. Plus, we have ways to kill things next turn thanks to our Blackened Corruptor. So, I think this may be a point we stabilize the board pretty well. He doesn't quite know what kind of deck we are. I can kind of tell by the way he's fiddling with his cards. So, Mortal Coil is really good here for this trade. But if I Mortal Coil, I can't kill the Flame Imp very effectively. I could just Blackwing and trade. Then the Flame Imp has to kill the Twilight Drake. but I still have a 5/4 up. I think that's probably better, because next turn I can do stuff like Xzirez, Mortal Coil. And it feels a little better. We have to kill this thing, though. It's just too scary, right? So yes, he can trade here, and that's totally fine. The Twilight Drake has already gotten a lot of value. It's killed a 3-drop. It's killed half of a 1-drop. It's attacked face, maybe? No, I guess it's never attacked face. But it's still gotten value. For a 4-drop in particular. So that's good. He can trade this way. But he may not have a way to kill the Twilight Drake in that case. We're going to have a pretty good Xzirez Mortal Coil on the Direwolf. We could also Doomsayer, but I don't think it's time for that just yet. We could Blackwing Mortal Coil as well to kill one more thing, but it doesn't actually help protect my Twilight Drake any. So I think... we could also Twilight Guardian double Mortal Coil. And that survives to the board and does protect the Xzirez Drake. I mean the Twilight Drake. We could also heal the Twilight Drake and trade and Mortal Coil. And Mortal Coil again. That actually feels sort of good. Yeah, we might want to use the heal on our face, so I think I'm just going to Twilight Guardian. And I'm actually going to double Mortal Coil here. And go face. So he can obviously get through this with a Power Overwhelming and clear my board, but he also sacks his board to do that. We've got some plays to do things next turn. Looks like a Soulfire. Crazed Alchemist. We have that too. So we gotta be careful here. He still has a lot of cards. We need to... This is a scary point where we have to kind of stabilize the board a little bit. So I don't think he's Power Overwhelming. He's probably going to trade, but then he still can't kill the Twilight Drake, so... What is that, Soulfire? Gormok. Oh, that's very, very good. It's very, very good. Hellfire is not that great because it doesn't kill the Gormok. We can Blackwing and Doomsayer, and I think we probably will. So here he has a dilemma, right? He can kill the Doomsayer, but then he probably leaves up my Blackwing, and this is essentially a heal 7 at this point, if he does kill it because he's not hitting my face. He only needs 1 damage to kill it, but he wastes a whole turn. If he doesn't kill it, he literally wastes a turn because he can't play anything. And even life tapping at this point is sort of risky for him, particularly when we have high damage in our deck, and he may not suspect that. Like, we have 8 damage from Soulfires, we have Hellfires, buffs from Xzirez to make that even better. He did life tap to start. Looks like he's going to clear. What's he got, though? Mortal Coil? Soulfire? Mortal Coil Zoo. I actually like running Mortal Coil and Zoo as well, so I can't criticize, but that does seem a little unusual. So, I can Hellfire trade and clear with Crazed Alchemist, but it kind of sucks. I could also just leave up the Gormok and trade and Hellfire. I don't think I can keep... Well, I can actually keep the Blackwing alive. I can trade... No, I have to sacrifice the Earthen Ring to do that, so that's not very good. I can clear his board, but the question is, should I? It takes 6 mana. I don't really think I have to, necessarily. I can probably wait a little while. So in other words, I can do this. I can play this. And this. A little worried about dying if I do this instead of this. Actually, just gonna heal myself. And no, it sounds crazy, but he has 6, 7, 8. 2 power overwhelming would have killed me. And even though his Knife Juggler's scary, and this thing's a little susceptible, our board still has 8 to 11 health. He only has 8 damage showing, so we're probably okay. That's a little worse. Ah! That didn't help him. That knife was wasted. That's funny. He might get another good knife, though. We'll see. That looks like Abusive Sergeant. He's going to go this way, or maybe this way. He probably should have life tapped first, but he's down to 11. That's pretty cool for us. Looks like we're going to get a good Hellfire off here. This Gormok at 4 health has really been trouble. Oh, that's bad, too. That's also bad. Man, we might be in trouble. Depends on how much he goes face. Are we dead? I think we're 1 off lethal? No, we're dead. Wow! And I healed face! Come on! So he had... I guess he got 1 ping, right, to face? Is that what happened? The Sea Giant ping gave him lethal? I was right to heal face. We played around the double power overwhelming. Gosh. That's rough. That honestly sucks. We'll try again here, see what happens.
Knowledge is power. Your soul shall be mine.
Alright, so this is a pretty good opening hand, actually. It's mage, we don't know what it's going to be, but... we don't necessarily want the Hellfire if we play the 2 and the 3, but it's fine if we get a little behind. And this is a good 2-drop for once. We have actually had to have a decent early game for the first time, so... that might actually work pretty okay. So we got the other Dark Peddler. That's fine. We may do that next turn as well. Shifter Xzirez is pretty cool. I don't even know if it's good, but I'm taking it because it's a cute legendary. We'll see how that goes. I still don't know what this is. Could be Freeze Mage, Tempo Mage. We'll see. It's Slow Mage, I know that. It's definitely... I'm playing Slow Mage.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Arcane Blast, it looks like it's coming out. I don't think he'd play that into that.
Oh my.
Oh, that was weird. Here comes the Arcane Blast. Mirror Image. Arcane Blast 2? Well, this is the world we live in, guys. Today. Hellfire is actually going to do work against this, so it's okay. I'm going to play this mostly for the card draw. Mortal Coil doesn't really help here, but I think it's my best option. Stormpike Commando out of our Shifter Xzirez. Why would you transform into that, dude? So he's definitely going to go face. He's not going to trade here. Frostbolt, okay. So we have to Hellfire, obviously. It's unfortunate that we're going to take 11 damage in this exchange, but we can't let that stuff live anymore. What a good start for him. And he got card draw to follow it up. So it's just like, he got that amazing start, and he has more stuff to do. It's really rough. Probably have to taunt here. Oh, actually, we can just clear. It's way better. Thankfully, we didn't have a dragon for the taunt, but we do now have a dragon for the taunt, so we can still taunt up next turn. Gotta heal. We're probably in a solid spot. Coliseum Manager. Shifter Xzirez, so you pick awful cards. That's a Fireball, it looks like. Could be Frostbolt Ping, though. Probably Fireball, though. So he's like, oh, I'm going to kill it. And then he realized he may not have to. Shifter Xzirez could be big here if we get something that deals with this. Stormpike Commando would have actually been perfect. Ironically, Stormpike Commando would have been sick. I think I just have to trade into that. I could Hellfire, but then that leaves us in ping range and I take 3 damage anyway, so it doesn't really help. Alternatively, I can play 2 3-drops instead of the Twilight Drake, but the Twilight Drake's health gets a little lower every time I do that. I'm a little scared to life tap, but I do have the heal. You take me back up to 19. I think it's okay. We'll just Twilight Drake trade. I don't think he can kill an 8 health minion right now unless he just got Flame Lance off that, which would be stupidly frustrating. Sky Captain Crag's cool. So Kabbalist Tome's pretty slow. That gives us some more time to stabilize, which is really nice. We will probably need it. Mirror Image is annoying, but not particularly good. Tundra Rhino looks a little better. Alternatively, we could just kind of play R4 and R3, but this is not activated. I think I want it to be activated. So I guess I'll Tundra Rhino, but I'll life tap first. Or are we past the point where life tapping is scary? I think we're past the point where life tapping is already scary. He's gotten some Kabbalist Tomes. We're pretty sure he has a Fireball already, so it doesn't take much to kill us at this point. Probably didn't have to do this, but I didn't really see another great way. Could have waited till this was a legendary or something, but I'm content to play the Tundra Rhino. He cleared his board, so. Otherwise, he's gonna have to send the Twilight Drake in again next turn, or you know, whatever other minion I played. Could have delayed trades. Siphon Soul's good for stuff like Antonitis, and it's a heal, which is good. So anything big he plays, that's a Siphon Soul target as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I think that's just a dandy Siphon Soul target. We'll go face. Still not gonna life tap. We're in a good spot, and there's no need to. He's got a Flame Strike. It looks like he's kind of feigning Flame Strike with that ping. That'd be fine. Can Sunwalker next turn. Maybe even Imp King Boss too, if he doesn't Flame Strike yet. Blizzard, okay. Shatter, cool. I respect it. That came from Kabbalist Tome? Both did. Wow. It's pretty sick, dude. It's pretty sick. So I don't have to taunt yet, right? But I don't really want to play in a Flame Strike, so I think I'm only going to play one minion. Twilight Guardian, I guess, doesn't die to Flame Strike. It's not taunted, but we have another taunt, so it's kind of fine to play it. I don't think we'll need the taunt. I just want power on the board for the Flame Strike that's coming. Flame Strike ping doesn't even kill this, so. We've got 7 damage in hand. No Flame Strike yet. That's a Fireball. Oh, it's Forgotten Torch. So it was a Forgotten Torch ping that he feigned earlier. Well, this is still pretty good that it's eating some stats. Hellfire Mortal Coil is going to handle this board just fine. He just unloaded his entire hand. He's going to clear, it looks like. I don't think it matters to me, though. No, he's 1 off. Wow. Still, Hellfire Mortal Coil is very good, right? Is there a better way to do it? I could Soulfire. Could trade Mortal Coil, Soulfire. But he's out of stuff. I don't know if I ever get a better Hellfire than this. Plus, he's pretty low at this point, so there's actually some value to hitting his face with Hellfire. So, I think I have to play this. I kind of want to play on curve, but he actually could have double Fireball next turn that kills me, so I think it's important to heal. I can taunt up, but that probably doesn't ever matter at this point. Again, like, probably never matters again. So 13 is the magic number for double Fireball. I mean, yeah, 13 is the magic number. I'm gonna play the Azure Drake here. Double Soulfire is lethal theoretically. Okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to do it. I want to get damage out onto the board. I don't have to taunt because he doesn't run charge minions that are going to kill me, right? So we're probably going to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice, but we want to get maximum amount of damage out. And these are the highest attack minions we have at 4. Everything's 4 or less. Plus they make Soulfire insane, so there's a good chance we can kill him here. Ping. No, we got 9 damage this turn. 9 damage. So we can't kill him yet. We'll do this and this. Go face. I just don't think he can win at this point. Magic Pyroblast doesn't even do it for him. Reno Jackson, I guess, could theoretically pull him into the game, but even that's probably just game over. Fireball ping. So we have 8. Yeah, we've got it with the Soulfire here. Cool, 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 cool. In fact, we've even got it like this, which is more fun. Alright, so we pulled out a win here. Even though he got off to a really good start, Hellfire saved us. Hellfire is a ridiculously powerful card and generally underrated. So I'm going to play another one. I don't feel like the first couple games gave this deck a fair shot at what it's trying to accomplish. So I think that last one definitely felt better. And I definitely want Xzirez and his cool Dragon Warlock to get a fair shake in the Regis Kilbin spotlight, if you will. Pretty cool deck. Even though we've lost a couple games, I definitely see why it's strong. And it's I don't think anybody expects it. It's very unknown deck here. Doomsayer's good, Crazed Alchemist is good against totems, and Imp Gang Boss is good just as a powerful minion. So I'm going to keep this hand. This is very, very likely Aggro Shaman, but even if it's Midrange Shaman, all of these cards can do stuff. We're a little scared by like double Tunnel Trog kind of things. Argent Squire is not scary though. That's totally fine. Hellfire's a good draw. We'll just we'll pass here. We'll probably Doomsayer next turn, and follow it up with the Imp Gang Boss. So that's a little scary, right? Because it means that Doomsayer can probably die. But even if it does, it buys me time, right? And it sets up stuff like the Hellfire. So he has Rock Batter or Lightning Bolt. He can kill it, but it's a 7. It's a heal for 7 against an Aggro Shaman, which is super valuable. Yep. So there's the Rock Biter. He just wasted his whole turn. That's one reason Doomsayer is good, because like now I get to play this and it gets to do things. Otherwise, I would have taken 4 to the face and been behind perhaps at least a totem, because he would have had 2 mana. He had to float 1 for that Rock Biter to work. He may have also had a good 2-drop, like another Totem Golem. We could have been super far behind. So Hellfire is going to ruin his dreams here. Hellfire Coin Mortal Coil is even better. It's like stupidly good. Unfortunately, my Imp Gang Boss is kind of going to suffer for it, but that's alright. We just basically, you know, traded a 2/4 for a couple 1/1s to clear his board. So I think that's worth the sacrifice. I don't know about you. So we've got 5 mana play next turn. The Crazed Alchemist could be really good if he plays like a Naked Tunnel Trog. Probably not as good against Tuskar Totemic. Oh, but it does kill Flame Tongue Totems for free, so actually it's insanely good. And we can trade and heal face, and we're actually in a fantastic spot because we have taunts, we have clears, we have Thaurissan, and we're at 25 health on turn 6. And we even have a heal with Siphon Soul. So like Flame Wreath Faceless is fine, we can kill it. I think it's going to be hard for us to lose this game at this point, frankly. Tunnel Trog's not scary at all. We can just dismantle this board. Lightning Storm's annoying. That's a good heal too. I don't think I want to play Thaurissan yet. It's really good, but it probably dies quite easily to the Tunnel Trog, whereas Sunwalker gives him more fits thanks to the Divine Shield. I don't need to Siphon Soul the Tunnel Trog. I need... Oh, this could be big. It's probably bad. Now he just needs anything that does overload or damage. That doesn't overload, so he can't clear. That's really good for me. Really, really good, actually. Ooh, this is a tough decision, though. I definitely am going to Thaurissan. I don't actually have to, I guess. Could Siphon Soul the Trog, kill the Manatide. But then I don't have an answer for the big stuff. I think we'll Thaurissan. This is also a debate. I think I have to kill the Manatide since he only has 2 cards. It makes it a little more likely that my Thaurissan dies to his board, because he could just kill here and do something. But he's so low on resources that that thing going off a couple times could give him routes back into the game. But we just shut him out instead. I think he saw the writing on the wall here. Alright, pretty cool. So, there you go. We've won 2 in a row there. So I think we're 2-2 with the deck overall. And felt pretty good. Like, I can definitely see that thing getting on a roll and just winning games. It's got a lot of answers to early aggression. It's got some late game punchy cards, which are cool. Just a really unusual mid-range Dragon Warlock. Like, I love it. It's really well designed and surprisingly fun to play. And only occasionally, I think, will let you down on consistency issues, but otherwise, really powerful. So that'll actually wrap it up for my deck spotlight on the Dragon Warlock by Xzirez. Thanks so much, Xzirez, for creating a cool deck. I encourage you guys to try this one out. I think it'll be a very rewarding experience. Appreciate all your time, and until next time, game on.